I'm Max Jones, and today we are going to be going over step by step how to build Apollo Park District's new stage from start to finish. Once you have the trailer parked in your desired spot, you're going to want to take the blocks and put them in between the tires to prevent the trailer from moving. After this, you're going to configure the legs that are going to be your first level of support for your stage. You're going to want to take out the bolt that is keeping them in place alongside of the trailer and rotate clockwise so that the foot of the leg is firmly on the pavement. After that, you're going to put your bolt back in to make sure that it is stable. Once your foot is firmly planted, then you're going to use the crank on the top of the leg and you are going to twist it until it is firmly planted into the pavement. Sometimes it may take a little bit longer, that depends on how far up your leg is inside. You want to make sure though that it is firmly planted onto the pavement. Up next, you're going to take out a level and you're going to make sure that everything is all even. It is critical to ensure that your stage is completely even. Once your legs are constructed and even, the next part is taking out the supporting beams. You're going to want to take the bolts out that are keeping them in place on the trailer and putting them into the next slot over. From there, you're going to use an impact and you're going to take out any bolts that are holding in the stage. This is important because those slots right there is where you are going to be locking in your supporting beams. After you remove all these pieces, you're going to make sure that you keep them in a safe and secure area so that you can have them for later. They are critical for when you're deconstructing the stage. So you want to make sure that you have the nut, bolt, and piece supporting the stage. From here, you're going to take the steel beams that are in the middle of the trailer and you're going to bring them to their destination, which is within those slots of which you just took out the nut, bolt, and piece keeping the trailer in place. As you'll see, you're going to be able to find a slot where you can lock it right in, and once you have it in that spot, it is going to be a seamless placement. You are going to repeat the process on both sides of the stage until all of the beams are fitted in place and there is stable support on both sides for the stage floor. If your stage is being constructed on a surface that is not hard and cannot support heavy weight, you're going to want to make sure that you put these wood blocks underneath the legs of the beams. This ensures that the feet of your beams are not going to sink into any mud or loose ground underneath. This could compromise the leveling of the stage itself. Once your beams are constructed and the feet of the beams are planted firmly on a surface, you are going to then take out your level and you are going to make sure that it is even. Once you have this established, you're going to take the bolt that is in the legs of the beam and you're going to put it in the slot that most accurately represents an even level. You are only going to be doing this at the four corners of the trailer slash stage. Once you put your bolt in the slot that most accurately represents an even level, you're going to take your nut and screw it in on the other side to ensure that there is a firm and stable level on your supporting beam. Next, you're going to want to use a clamp and a string to make sure that the rest of your beams are in line with the ones that you currently set to make sure that they are all equally even to support the floor of the stage. Use a clamp and use a very long string. You want to tie down the string using the clamp and you're going to stretch your string for the whole duration of the stage floor. The goal is to make sure that the rest of your beams are in line with the string. If there's one that is creating tension on the string or there's a beam that is not touching the string, that's how you know that you need to adjust it. If your beam is lower, then you need to move it up. If your beam is creating tension on the stage, then you need to move it down. Once everything looks even, then you know you are good to go. As soon as you're finished, make sure to repeat the process on the other side so that all of the other beams are even. An important step in the stage construction is ensuring that you have a grounded stake. In the unlikely event of lightning, you want to make sure that all of the electricity is grounded. That means screwing in the cable and hammering a stake into the ground. This is to ensure that nobody gets electrocuted and that there's a place for excess electricity to go. Once you have it hammered into the ground, you're going to want to spray paint it orange or a noticeable color so that people know not to mess with it and not to go near it. Finally, you are ready to start unraveling the stage. This is done using the two buttons at the bottom of the control box located at the top part of the trailer. You want to make sure that all of the wheels on the stage are in line with your supporting beams. In the event that any part gets stuck, you want to stop rolling it out and have somebody adjust it so that it is on the right track. Once you're good to go, then you're going to continue to press those two bottom buttons until the stage is unraveled completely. Once your stage is completely unraveled, then you're going to want to make sure that it is completely flat. This could mean pushing it back and down a couple of times to ensure that it is 100% safe to walk on. In the event that there's a little bit of a bump somewhere, you can always have somebody get up on stage and step down so that it evens out the stage floor. Up next, you're going to begin the process of clamping down the stage floor to those supporting beams at the bottom. There's a specific way you want to do this. You want to ensure that the top part of your clamp, as you can see at the top of the video, is in one of those lips below the stage floor. That way it has a good grip, and then the bottom part of the clamp is going to go right below the beam. Make sure that you tighten it as tight as you can. This will make sure that the stage does not come up at all and it is sturdy to the ground itself. Repeat this process in many other parts of the stage until you are completely out of clamps. The more clamps, the better. This will ensure that you have the most sturdy and stable stage as possible. Again, you want to make sure that the top part of the clamp goes in between the ridges that are the bottom of the stage floor. This is a great example right here of how you want your clamp to look. If you look at the top piece, you can see that it's right in that ridge of the stage floor. Your final step of stage construction is to be establishing your safety barriers as well as your staircases. All of the railings are held down by nuts and bolts as you see there on the side. You want to make sure that you unscrew them, stand your railings upright, and you're going to use those same nuts and bolts to screw them into place. Once you are done with that, you have your staircases that you are going to repeat the process with. You want to use nuts and bolts in those slots right there. You want to make sure that your staircase is planted firmly down, which means making sure that the railings and the stairs go down as low as possible in those slots. Once you complete the process of securing all your railings, this is what your stage is going to look like completed. Thank you for watching.